So what is that pure self? You'll hear me again and again using this word pure. And it's important to give it some context, because the conditioning of any kind of system that wanted to bring about some moral good through threat. If you are not good, you will go to hell, go to your room, fail your studies, not get a nice partner, not get a job. All these are threats. And although we don't sometimes think of them as threats, because it's not like someone is shaking their fist at you and actually threatening your life, or even threatening your delicate ego, but the threat of if this, then that. That is a kind of threat. And all traditions have used this teaching method of threatening, because it's very difficult also with the children, particularly, who have this kind of wild nature, how to train them so that they stay safe. It's difficult. And of course, we all can have wonderful ideals of how to nurture them into how to navigate their bodies through this life, so they shouldn't run across the road and get hit by a car or put their hand on the hot stove. All these things, they have to be taught, and we may have wonderful ideals of how we should teach them, but we ourselves resort to threat. Because of this nature that we have of our conditioning being brought up under this threat, we feel that somehow we have lost our purity because we have been punished. And we have been punished because we have not been pure. And all these ideals and all these models have been presented to us as to what is pure. The word, in the context that I use it, pure means the original being. That being that, even though it has been trained or shaped into a certain personality, has not been lost. So indestructible, ever present. And a good example of pure in this regard is gold. What is so valuable about gold is it cannot be destroyed. Gold can be put into the fire and melted and shaped into any style jewelry, but it always remains itself as gold. It doesn't become something other. Many substances, for example, sugar, once you dissolve sugar into tea, now sugar does not have its own identity anymore. It becomes sweet tea. You don't say, I'll have some sugar and tea, thank you. You say, I'll have sweet tea. Now the sugar has become the quality of sweetness. So as these personalities have developed, we have become the qualities of, not always sweetness, but whatever you want to put in the blank there. And how many qualities do we have? List them. We could be all day listing human qualities. Just open the dictionary and start reading. That is the qualities of the human being. So many qualities. But actually, the pure self, unlike sugar that has become mixed with tea and hot water, but with gold, whether you are wearing a necklace, a ring, a bracelet, or maybe you're wealthy enough to own a golden goblet to drink your wine from, it is always gold. Take that goblet, melt it again, and shape it into something else. It hasn't changed in any way. It's only changed its shape. So we are, through our conditioning process, shaped. We've all been shaped in different ways, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally, certainly socially. That's a big shaping. And in this shaping, we have found ourselves constricted in some way, limited in some way, because now instead of calling myself pure gold, I have said, I'm a necklace. Wished I had been born a ring. The ring is the ceremony at marriage. I'm just dangling around someone's neck. As ridiculous as they may sound, these are the kind of inner narration which wraps around our sense of personal self, the personality. How much do you think in the day you are listening to the narration of your personal self? Maybe 90-something%, right? And if it's not about you, it's about someone else, right? Not that there's anything wrong with the narration at all. That should be the question now. Well, what is wrong with that? The mind has to think. Let it think. Yes, it's fine. Let it say something. I agree. So why does it become a problem? Let me ask you. Why do you think it is that this narration of the mind that's constantly describing the so-called created or developed or shaped self as opposed to the pure self, why do you think that that is something that we are now bringing to be unveiled, to be exposed, to be discussed, so we can see it, we can have darshan of it? So why do we bring this to our attention is because, what is the word I'm looking for?
Suffering.
Suffering, why?
Because it gets in the way of the essential self.
Lovely.
Daily.
It feels like it gets in the way, absolutely. So it veils the sense of self. And in that realm of our differences, our characteristics, our qualities that are all of differences, is there not comparison there? It has to be comparison, right? That's where the inner narration starts to suffer. Because it's not just narrating a story, like a bedtime story that I'm soothed by. It's narrating your sense of self pitted against other. And that other may be a person, it may be an experience that you want or you don't want. So now you have something other. Now, because the sense of other, which is duality consciousness, the consciousness of two being separate, because of this sense of two, we now have this against that. Now, in that, we either like that separation or the opposite. So it's either something which is pleasing me, which I love, suiting me, it's even maybe nourishing me, or it's opposite. So a human being suffers in this struggle. I need this because this completes me. And this I need to ward away because it takes me away from my unity. So this needing to complete and needing to push is all still based on need. What is need based on? Lack. So what are you perpetuating in your inner narration, your inner dialogue? I'm lacking.
Want to listen to full-length audios including satsangs, meditation, yogic practices, and meditative music? Join the Wisdom Library, a growing, vibrant sanctuary of self-knowledge. This resource supports your meditation practice and inspires your mind and heart to live in the knowledge of your ever-free self. Subscribe monthly or annually at wisdomofmeditation.com.